Life is a finite thing, and we can spend it well or we can fritter it away like loose change on things that don't really matter. And the trouble is, wasting your life doesn't always look like wasting your life. It can be disguised as busyness, distraction, overcommitment, or the pursuit of things that we think we should want. So today we're going to talk about some essential truths to help us not waste our life. These aren't quick hacks or empty platitudes. These are real, practical, and sometimes uncomfortable truths. And if you take them seriously, they will help shape your days into something meaningful, something worth living for. So let's get started. Self-care means taking responsibility for yourself. Because when you're truly looking after yourself properly, you enjoy living your life and you don't feel you have to escape from it. Self-care isn't just about treating yourself, although you should do that from time to time, but it is about doing the hard things that actually help improve your life. Things like eating real food rather than surviving on caffeine and processed snacks, or getting up early instead of hitting the snooze button for the 5th time, or maybe saying no to people who drain your energy. Now, none of these things are glamorous, but they are self-care. Sometimes I feel like we avoid taking responsibility for ourselves because we associate it with stress. But when we properly take care of ourselves, it is actually the greatest act of self-respect. Think of it like this: when we maintain a home well, it lasts for generations, and we are exactly the same. We need maintenance too. You know, life has a way of sorting most things out, but only to a point. When it comes to the big things in life, throwing caution to the wind and just assuming everything is going to work out fine is a dangerous gamble. The big things in life, like choosing a life partner, building a home, building a career, managing finances, all require intentionality and careful thought. Hope is not a strategy, and although spontaneity certainly does have its charm, leaving the big decisions in life up to fate is often a recipe for regret. I think we can agree that sometimes people say things will work out as a way to avoid making difficult decisions. But the reality is, things work out best when we take responsibility for making them work out. Take, for example, a wedding. It just doesn't fall into place. It takes months of planning, decision making, and problem solving. You have to choose the right venue, secure vendors, secure a caterer, send out invitations, and make sure everything runs smoothly. A successful wedding isn't just about luck, it's about preparation. Now imagine someone taking a completely carefree approach, just assuming that everything will just work out. They don't book a venue because for sure one will be available last minute. They don't hire a caterer because, well, I'm sure people can just figure out food on their own. They don't check to see if their officiant is actually registered because in reality, how important is that detail? You can see where this is going. The wedding day arrives and it's absolute chaos. The only available venue is a fast food parking lot, and half the guests didn't show up because they never got an invite, and dinner consists of gas station snacks because the caterer never existed. Now, the couple may still walk away married, but it makes the whole experience a stressful and disorganized mess that could have been avoided with a little planning and forethought. And life is no different. We can't just wing it when it comes to big things like our relationships or finances and careers and our homes. So it's good to make thoughtful decisions, put in the work, and take responsibility for the future. Don't ignore small problems because they will become big problems. Life tends to punish those who ignore reality. And reality has a funny way of catching up with us whether we like it or not. A tiny leak in the ceiling becomes a collapsed roof. A little bit of credit card debt becomes bankruptcy. A neglected friendship becomes an estranged relationship. It's like that one drawer in the kitchen, the junk drawer. It starts with one misplaced misplaced pen, then a takeout menu, then a screwdriver, then receipts, batteries, rubber bands, mystery keys, and then suddenly it's a disaster zone. Problems in life work the same way. They start small, but if you ignore them, they grow into something overwhelming. If you see a problem, no matter how small it is, deal with it now, because small problems are easy to fix. Big ones, not so much. Next, seek truth rather than comfort, because comfort can be a trap. Most people don't realize that comfort, while pleasant in the moment, can be one of the biggest traps. It's easy to seek what feels good, staying in familiar routines or avoiding difficult conversations or ignoring hard truths about ourselves. But the problem is, truth doesn't care about comfort, and the more we avoid it, the more we stunt our own growth. Think about the person who refuses to look at their finances because it's stressful. They swipe the credit card, ignore the bank statements, and tell themselves it'll all work out somehow. And for a while, they feel fine. Until one day, they're drowning in debt, they're overwhelmed, and they're wondering how it happened. But the truth was always there, waiting to be faced. But comfort kept them blind to it. Or consider someone that's in a job they hate. Deep down, they know they're meant for something more, but leaving feels risky. They trade their potential for a predictable paycheck, even though quiet resentment is building up. Seeking the truth might be admitting this isn't what I want and maybe doing something about it, but comfort makes them stay. Real growth comes from being willing to confront what's real, even if it's uncomfortable. It means looking at our lives honestly, our habits, our relationships. It means questioning our own excuses and looking at what's really holding us back. Truth isn't always easy, but it is freeing. It gives you clarity, direction, and the ability to improve your life instead of just coasting through it. Because in the end, false comfort may help you feel safe, but only truth will set you free. It's never too late to start over. There's a cruel myth that says if you haven't achieved something by a certain age, you may as well give up, as if life has some kind of deadline. Well, let me tell you something, because history is filled with late bloomers. Vera Wang didn't design her first dress until she was 40, and Colonel Sanders didn't get KFC going until he was in his 60s. And Socrates, well, he didn't even start his philosophical career until he was in his late 40s. Before that, he was just an average guy annoying his neighbors with deep questions. The idea that you're too late is just a cultural illusion. It's not a fact. We live in a world that is obsessed with youth and speed, fast results, early success, and instant gratification. But real, meaningful things take time. For example, if you have two people planting trees, one person plants at age 20, the other plants at age 50. The tree planted at 20 will most likely be taller sooner, but guess what? The tree planted at 50 will still grow. It will still provide shade, beauty, and life. So if something is calling you, a new skill or maybe a new way of life, don't ask, am I too late? Ask, why not now? Develop confidence. It's a skill, not a trait. Some people believe confidence is something that you're just born with, and that is absolute nonsense. If you want to be confident, act confident, speak with conviction, and walk like you belong in any room you enter. Take up some space, and for goodness sake, stop apologizing for existing. Even if you don't feel confident, nobody needs to know. Just fake it till you make it. If you knew you only had a year left, what would you change? Because one day this life will be over and none of us know when. So don't waste it. Make the choices that you'll be proud of and live in a way that matters, because a life well lived is never wasted. If this resonated with you, take a moment to reflect, because the best time to change things for the better was yesterday. The next best time is right now. I want to thank you so much for spending a little bit of your day with me. Many blessings to you and your families. Take care, and we'll catch you in the next one.